Alright guys, welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review. This was the last Raw before the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and instead of wanting to watch Royal Rumble, this show almost made me want to cancel my WWE Network subscription. This show was really bad, and I think I've actually praised Raw a wee bit. I think it was last week I praised it, or the week before, because there was a couple of decent things on the show tonight. Those couple of decent things were very hard to come by, and a lot of the show I did not like. We had a lot of we had some decent people on the show, but even then, I don't think they could save it. It was just it was almost 3 hours of garbage, minus one or two things that I enjoyed. I loved the ending, but the sad part about that is it's the ending. As soon as it happened, the show was fucking over. So like as soon as you begin to enjoy it, it's over. I mean, you wait 3 hours to like something, and then it's already done. So you know what the hell's that all about? But anyway, so we kick off Monday Night Raw with Drew McIntyre. He comes out with the kilt on, with the sword, and this just seems like McMahon, very 90s, 80s. Oh, here's a Scotsman, he's got to wear a kilt and a sword, It's like, to me, like, I think, is McIntyre not already done this whole thing? I mean, this whole kilt gimmick, I mean, why can't he just, I don't know. To me, I don't think this is really necessary, but you know what? He's coming out with the kilt and the sword, the props, whatever. Um, I guess it's like Finlay had to have a leprechaun. I guess if you're from some, I mean, what if I don't know if you're from a certain country that's like known for something, I guess that you're gonna have to come out and like wear it or have it or I don't know some shit like that. Anyway, McIntyre comes out. He talks about his COVID, which we don't want to hear about. Let's be real. And he's saying how he couldn't train for 4 days, mate. It's a flu. I mean, really, you're supposed to be world champion, and you're talking about how the flu his like the flu has stopped you training for 3 days. Holy shit! I mean, Mick Foley flew off the top of the Hell in the Cell and continued the match. You know what I mean? I'm thinking Austin broke his neck, finished the match. Drew McIntyre comes out and tries to put over COVID. I mean, what a joke that is! Completely did not like that. I mean, I thought it made him look weak. I didn't see the need to him to mention COVID, but he did. Whoop de doo, and then he cut a really boring promo about how Goldberg's came back and he's had a mini streak. Every title world champion he's challenged, he's won, but McIntyre says he's gonna stop this streak at the Royal Rumble. Really boring. Talked about COVID, then talked about his match at the Rumble. This was crap. It really was. Miz and Morrison come out. I don't mind the Miz and Morrison, but at the moment, what they're doing is garbage. I mean, you compare Miz and Morrison from 2008, 2009 to now, and it's night and day, man. It really is. They came out. Miz obviously, taunted, showing around his briefcase, whatever it is. His money in the bank, whoop de do. Is he going to cash it in Royal Rumble? Maybe. I don't know, will he? And then Goldberg comes out wearing a hoodie, gets a big firework display when he does his wee moves on the ramp and the fireworks go off. By the time he gets to the ring, he's gassed. So fuck knows what sort of state he'll be in for this match against McIntyre. My prediction is it goes about 3 minutes max. But anyway, Goldberg gets in the ring, has a wee stare down with McIntyre. Says at the Rumble, "You're next." I mean, how boring as fuck. Could they not have done something outside the box, man, or something? I mean, even give us a tag team match with these two or something. I don't know, or have Goldberg come out with something new, like a new line. Instead, no. You're next. Goldberg spears the Miz. McIntyre claymores Morrison. Then the two have a wee face off, and Goldberg's hoodie kind of gets stuck over his head, and he has to pull it down. Shit opener to Raw. I mean, an opener to Raw with these four probably should be decent, but that wasn't decent. I mean, it felt like something we've seen about 10 million times before. Up next, Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler. Match lasted about 3 minutes. Charlotte's kind of dominated on her. I mean, last time I really was watching Raw consecutively for weeks, Shayna Baszler was like killing everyone. So I don't know why she's kind of turned into this jobber now with Nia Jax. Anyway, Flair's got Shayna Baszler in the figure four. Jax hits a leg drop on Charlotte Flair, causes the DQ. They start beating her up. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose come down and start helping Charlotte Flair to attack Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And then Lacey Evans comes in to even up the score, so it's 6 people in the rings, 3 women against 3 women, and this is some of the fakest looking hits I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, McIntyre all day called it the Undertaker for saying this product's soft and that the in ring stuff's never been harder. I've never seen so much. I've never seen anything look more like fake fighting than this. This was bad. I mean, this was almost borderline Dark Order punching a guy but missing him by about 2 feet bad. This was, I mean, especially Dana Brooke. She's trying to beat up, who is it, Shayna Baszler, and I mean, it's like pretend punches you do to your dog or something, or I mean, your kid. I mean, you like pretend pretend to beat them up. That's what this looks like. It looks awful. Then we get a 6 women tag match. Really, I don't know why we needed to see this, but it was Lacey Evans, Baszler, and Nia Jax versus Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, and Charlotte Flair. This match went on way too fucking long. Shayna Baszler didn't beat the 10 count. By the way, right, Shayna Baszler's getting beat up in the corner. Now, I don't know why she's getting beat up since she's like the only legit fighter out the 6. But see the way she was getting beat up, this looked as if Shayna Baszler was out of her fucking head or something, and you've got Dana Brooke beating her up with these the most fake punches of all time. Her, Mandy Rose, Charlotte, awful attacking Shayna Baszler here. There's one spot where Charlotte tags in Dana Brooke, and as soon as Dana Brooke gets in the ring, she tags in Mandy Rose to do a double team move, and they completely fucking botch it. They don't they go for like a double kick or something like that, and Dana Brooke's about 10 minutes ahead of Mandy Rose, so they don't connect at the same time. And as soon as they do it, Dana Brooke asked for the tag again. Like, what was the point? Why not? You were in the ring for less than 5 seconds. Why not just have Mandy Rose come in and do the move? There was no need for the tag there. It just looked very fucking shoddy. Then Charlotte throws Shayna Baszler to the outside, and Charlotte gets back in the ring. Shayna Baszler doesn't. 10 count, DQ, count out. So the 3 blonde bimbos win. But no, they don't win because apparently during the break, the team with Nia Jax complained to Adam Pearce and he restarted the match. So we get this match again that nobody wanted to see in the first place, but we get it again. Nia Jax does a mad looking power bomb / choke slam to Dana Brooke. Looked like she landed on her head. Wouldn't you be surprised if that's another concussion? Then she hits the leg drop, and when her fat ass fucking drops on you, you know that's the match over. So Nia Jax gets the win for her team. This took up about 40. This must be about what, 40 minutes, if not legit, at least legit half an hour with these 6. Nobody wants to see these 6 for 2 minutes. Never mind fucking half an hour, unless maybe it's Mandy Rose and you're bloody, she's hot or whatever and wearing not a lot, but in a wrestling capacity, definitely not, man. Definitely not want to see any more than what we got here, but unfortunately it dragged on. Up next, Retribution, some guy in a mask versus Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods wins. Bullshit, nothing to say here. So Xavier Woods wins in the end. Retribution attack him after the match, and Ali's still bitter about Kofi Kingston getting that Mania match when he was injured from the chamber. He sits down with a chair and he says that he's a king and that Xavier Woods looks like a peasant and that as a king he's gonna spare him or something or show sympathy. I mean, who cares? Retribution was dead as soon as Ali was announced as the the leader. I mean, nobody wanted to fucking see. Well, Retribution was pretty dead anyway, but I mean, especially when Ali got announced as the leader. Up next, with R-Truth backstage. He thinks that the Hurt Business are planning a surprise birthday for him. Garbage, lame, who cares? Apparently, there's going to be some guy singing at the Royal Rumble. He's got a song with Booker T. Awesome, but I mean, who cares? I'm glad Booker T's got a song or whatever, but I don't really care. The Hurt Business have a celebration, but it's not for R-Truth, it's for MVP. They all say how they've got gold, MVP doesn't, so they buy him a chain with the Hurt Business on it. R-Truth comes out, thinks that it's his present or whatever, and then a bunch of jobbers, I don't even fucking know who these guys are, but a bunch of jobbers run from the back, obviously to try and win the belt on R-Truth. Lame, boring, shite, don't need to see this. The Hurt Business beat them up. MVP stays in the ring. Matt Riddle comes out, hits him from behind. It gets announced that Matt Riddle has to take on the Hurt Business. MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander tonight. run the gauntlet match. If he wins, he gets a US title match against Bobby Lashley. Who cares? We've got announced it's Alexa Bliss versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship tonight. We also get announced Edge is appearing on Raw tonight. Backstage, they make a match between AJ Styles and R-Truth. Again, this is crap. Adam Pearce, who the fuck are you? Why do we care? Who cares? I just don't give a shit anymore. Up next was Sheamus taking on John Morrison. Sheamus beats John Morrison. I mean, I guess it was an okay match, but I couldn't really give a shit, so it didn't really do anything for me. After the match, Miz says something like, you need to be prepared for the Royal Rumble. So then he offers Sheamus a match against him and John Morrison, a 2-man handicap match, and Sheamus accepts. I mean, what the fuck is it with all these, like, using multiple people for multiple matches? It's like, they can tell that 3 hours is fucking killing them here. I didn't get the point of this. So anyway, then we had The Miz and Morrison versus Sheamus, and it was like another, match, and then The Miz hits the skull crushing finale on Sheamus from behind and gets the pin. After that, we had Ric Flair and Lacey Evans backstage. Ric Flair was showing Lacey Evans how to escape holds. To me, this looked as if they were trying to recreate the whole Triple H and Trish Stratus kind of angle from years ago when Stephanie McMahon walks in on them as Triple H is bending Trish over for like a hammerlock, but it just looked really, really fake. It was as if it was as if they were trying to go for that, but they didn't exactly want it to look sexual the way the Triple H and Trish Stratus one did. So they kind of had Ric Flair hold Lacey Evans, but not really holding her, if you know what I mean. So this kind of looked really, really awkward. And then Charlotte walks in, but why is Charlotte going to care? I mean, it's not like Charlotte's banging Ric Flair, and then she walks in and sees Ric Flair with his hands on another woman. So Charlotte walks in, she tells Lacey Evans to leave, and Lacey Evans just leaves. Didn't make much sense. Charlotte says that her whole life he's been spending money on anyone but not his family, and that she's trying to protect him, and says that he's not a legend anymore. He's just an old man. I mean, is Charlotte not supposed to be the face here yet? Fuck, I don't know yet. She's looking like the heel here. And then in the end, Lacey Evans comes in and hits Charlotte from behind and leaves with Flair. It is what it is. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was one of the better things on the show, let's be real, but the show was shit, so I mean, that doesn't really say much. Also, there was a backstage segment earlier where Charlotte Flair says something about she's going to go on to the Royal Rumble or whatever and win and then go on to WrestleMania. And she said something along the lines of, that's why they call me Miss WrestleMania. Who calls Charlotte Flair that? No one. I mean, you're fucking shit. No one cares. That's an insult, Mister. I mean, Shawn Michaels has earned the name Mister WrestleMania because he put on classic Mania match every single year. I mean, what's Charlotte Flair done? Absolutely nothing. Oh, she she was added. No, I mean, added to the triple threat match just so Ronda Rousey could like kind of lose without looking shit. I mean, that's all it was because obviously if they thought, I mean, they wouldn't want Ronda to lose a one-on-one match with Becky Lynch, so if they had another person in it, kind of makes the loss not look as bad because it's a triple threat. But I mean, for her to call herself Miss WrestleMania is a joke. Um, all she is Ric Flair's daughter, and that's all she ever will be. To be fair. Up next with AJ Styles beating R-Truth. Nobody cares. There was a spot where AJ went to throw R-Truth over over the top rope, but R-Truth countered it and threw him over, and they're making a big deal. Oh, if this happened at the Rumble, R-Truth, AJ would be eliminated. Right, whoop-de-doo. AJ wins. Nobody cares. Up next, we've got Alexa backstage in her playground on the swing. Says she can't wait to see the Fiend again. That last week Asuka didn't play fair. Blah blah blah. Tonight she isn't going to play fair. I mean, it was alright. It was, it was fine, but it felt like kind of seen it before. But you know what? It was alright. I mean, I complain about wrestling just being wrestling. So I mean, I get I get the Fiend and Alexa Bliss and this playground shit isn't everyone's cup of tea. But even if you don't necessarily like this, the fact that it's different, I think it keeps you. I don't know. The fact that it's different, I think you're at least invested in it. And it's interesting. It's something new. So to me, it's all even this. I mean, I'd rather watch, even if I thought this was bad, which I don't. I'd rather watch this than a 10-minute match that I don't give a fuck about. Up next, we had Adam Riddle against the Gauntlet match. He manages to defeat all three. Okay, we get it. The Hurt Business. There's chaos between them. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin can't get along. They kind of cost each other the match with distractions, and Riddle wins. Then in the end, Bobby Lashley comes out, puts him in the Hurt Lock, and makes a mad face at the camera. So I think it's going to be Lashley versus Riddle for the US belt at the Royal Rumble. Do not like this bro Matt Riddle guy. Just not a fan of him. Just don't like the guy. It is what it is. After this, I believe we had the return of Edge, and he just basically spoke about how last time he won the Royal Rumble, he went to WrestleMania, he won the belt, and then he had to retire because of his neck. He says that because of his neck, his career clock is ticking down, and then he enters himself into the Royal Rumble match. So we're going to have Edge in the Royal Rumble, which I guess is good. And then we have Asuka walking backstage, getting ready for her match. She comes out, then Alexa Bliss comes out. Women's Championship match, kind of basic match between Alexa and Asuka. Then the kind of lights go out and Alexa Bliss is in the corner, but she's not dressed in like the little Alexa's playground outfit. She's just dressed as like the goddess Alexa Bliss, and then she goes for a move. Asuka rolls out the way. She goes into the corner. Lights go out again. Lights come back on, and then she's doing the whole hanging up over the top rope thing. Then she looks like the Fiend Alexa Bliss theme from like last week, and then the match kind of takes over. Alexa Bliss is dominating. Looks like she's about to beat Asuka for the belt, and then out of nowhere, the lights go out again, and Randy Orton is behind Alexa Bliss with his burnt face, spins her around, hits the RKO. I mean, it was a great sell in the RKO. I mean, definitely a better sell than Fat Ass Nia Jax. And as soon as Orton hits the RKO, Raw goes off the air, so we didn't even get to see like which I guess is kind of, in a way, it's like it's saving it for next week. So you want to see what happened next week, but at the same time, it's like this show was shit. You made me watch 3 hours of it. It's finally something good's just happened. I kind of want to see what happens after, but it didn't happen. So you know what, the ending was great with Orton coming out and hitting Alexa Bliss with RKO, but the rest of the show was shit. So for me, I'm going to have to give it. I'll give it a 2 out of 10. That's probably no. I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. I've got to be honest. The reason it's getting a 1 is Nia Jax shit. Those 3 separate matches between those 6 didn't need to happen. I mean, the Hurt Business and a Gauntlet match is just kind of using those guys over and over. The Miz coming out and then Morrison having a match with Sheamus and then a handicap match straight after. It's supposed to be the go home show, and then they just use McIntyre and Goldberg once just at the start. Then it's over, one and done. So I mean, there's just too much shit to give us anything more than a 1. But like I said, I enjoyed the ending. Well, for that reason, it's getting a 1. If it wasn't for the ending, it would have got a 0. So hey, take your 1, and that's it. Till next time, guys. This is a Raw review. Who knows what will happen? Well, I say who knows what will happen next week. We've got the Rumble first before that, so we'll see what happens at the Rumble, guys. But until then, peace.